Hello there, and a warm welcome. I wonder if you've been in a situation where you encountered a difficult thing, event, situation, and then you go through some emotional turmoil and you blame yourself for not getting over it. And then you say some things to yourself like, I should be over this by now, or why can't I just get over it? Or your mind spins round and round and round on the same thing, and you just can't finish with that thing. Well, welcome to the human race. That's completely normal. And I want to talk a little bit today about how we tend to try and oversimplify things, and that doesn't really serve us. So I wonder if you're also perhaps a fan of Brene Brown. I'm reading this book in bits and pieces. It's Atlas of the Heart, one of her newer books, and it talks through each of the emotions in a very beautiful way that helps us to understand exactly what each emotion does, what its purpose is, and it's really an amazing book to read. So this morning I was reading a little piece in this book that had me really excited, and I want to share this little quote with you. Just a few words about the complexity of our emotions. And why I'm so excited about it is just last night I was going through something. I received an email with a short little message that was extremely triggering for me. And unfortunately, I read it around 10 p.m. Not a good time to read emails. And all through the night, I mean, before I could fall asleep, I had to tap for about 20 minutes or so to help myself to start feeling calm enough to actually get into bed and close my eyes. And then all through the night, I kept waking up, and the first thought that was in my brain was about this silly email that I got that had upset me so much. Eventually, I got so tired of the thoughts whirring and whirring, in the same old loop, that I just sort of said to myself, can I just drop this? Can I just let this go? And it wasn't that easy. And still today, as I was going through my walk, there was still many thoughts and emotions. So I want to tell you that over the course of all the tapping I've done in the past, let's say around about 16 hours or so, I have tapped through many different emotions. I felt or experienced many different thoughts that I'm thinking about this email, many different emotions, many different beliefs that have come up for me around that little email. And I've just realized that's how our lives go. We in this Western world, I think, have come to make things or we try and make it simple. It's like, now, here's the simple answer. If you just do this one thing, all of it will be sorted. And it doesn't work that way with our emotions. I have to let you know. You may have noticed that for yourself, that in one thing that happens to us, in one unhappy incident that triggers us, we can have a multitude of emotions, and we can get over the one and then the next one is there to show up. So it's no wonder that we sometimes just can't get over it. And there's no such thing that we should get over it faster than we are. Isn't that funny? We expect ourselves to get over something faster than what we are getting over it. Now, back to the book, because I want to read you this quote. And it is a quote actually that Brene Brown, she's quoting Adam Grant's, one of his books. The book is called Think Again, The Power of Knowing What You Don't Know. That's the book of Adam Grant. And she read this quote in his book, or this piece in his book, and she included it in this book, Atlas of the Heart. And then when I was going through all these different emotions, I just thought this is a really great thing to keep in mind for all of us about the complexity of life, that we can't just simply reduce things into one tiny little element or one little aspect and go, if I just get over that, then everything will be okay. So I want to share this quote with you. So excuse me for not having my eyes on you on the camera right now, but I'm going to just look down here and there to read this. And he writes about the problem of oversimplifying in this way. He says, as consumers of information, we have a role to play in embracing a more nuanced point of view. When we're reading, listening, or watching, we can learn to recognize complexity as a signal of credibility. We can favor content and sources that present many sides of an issue rather than just one or two. When we come across simplifying headlines, we can fight our tendency to accept binaries by asking what additional perspectives are missing between the extremes. This applies when we are the ones producing and communicating information too. New research suggests that when journalists acknowledge the uncertainties around facts on complex issues like climate change and immigration, it doesn't undermine their readers' trust. And multiple experiments have shown that when experts express doubt, they become more persuasive. When someone knowledgeable admits uncertainty, it surprises people and they end up paying more attention to the substance of the argument. So I found that so incredibly beautiful and validating, is that we don't have to have just one point of view. And Brene Brown then just carries on and she says, he didn't write this about our emotions, thoughts, and behaviors, but the same wisdom applies. We don't have to have just one thought or feeling or emotion about a particular issue. We can have many, because that shows that we are a credible, normal human being with lots of different feelings, lots of different aspects, lots of different nuanced layers to us in our subconscious mind. So I want to just encourage you, if you're feeling downhearted because you just can't get over an issue, there may be some more different perspectives that you haven't thought of, or you may have not worked through all the layers of the emotions that you may be feeling. It could be triggering because there are certain things that it reminds you of. It reminds you of a person in the past or a situation in the past. There's so many emotional layers that we can go through, and it's all completely normal. In fact, I would encourage it. We are not simple, one-layered human beings. We are full of complexity. We are amazing. We are built in beautiful ways. And so I want to encourage you to just embrace that. A friend of mine always used to say, lean into the discomfort. And if you're a sensitive person, that can be very uncomfortable. I want to acknowledge that and validate that. And still, it is good for us sometimes to lean into the discomfort of all these different emotional layers, and that we don't just get over an issue in one fell swoop just because we think we should. I want to just finish off with a thought that Brene Brown herself wrote in this beautiful book of hers about this complexity issue. And she says, there's nothing more limiting than tapping out of tension and oversimplifying the thoughts and feelings that have the power to help us understand who we are and what we need. So I hope this was helpful for you in some way. We don't have to simplify. We can acknowledge all the complex layers of what we're experiencing, and that makes us human. And I would love to hear what you think about this. And thank you so much for watching and listening, and see you in the next video.